I got excited when you said that.
Okay, so last but not least, our culmination of a semester of wonderful team presentations. Take it away.
Ladies, gentlemen, Mary Kay. Thank you for joining us today. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the founder and chairman of People's Express, the man, the myth, the legend, Donald Burr.
All right, I got an itch. I got an itch. No, not that kind of itch. I got an idea itch. You know, I turned around Texas International, up, profitable, love this industry, but I don't think I can really generate my ideas unless I start my own airline. What do you think of that?
I think you're a whack nut job.
Yeah, but would you come to work with me?
Absolutely.
Pete, there's something about people. We gotta do that.
People's Express was incorporated on April 7, 1980. It was the first flight planned for April of 1981. When the company was founded, they made three commitments. The first was to offer a broad array of flight options and to offer frequent service. The second was to keep costs low by making the most efficient use of their assets possible. And the third was to pass those savings on to their customers by offering deeply discounted prices. The plan for the first year was to raise $4 to $5 million, to buy or lease 1 to 3 aircrafts, and then to staff those aircrafts with approximately 200 full-time employees. Donald Burr, however, thought that this plan was too cautious. Why not buy those 17 planes that Lufthansa offers? As the rest of the managing directors raised their eyebrows, Donald Burr thought this was right on plan.
Oh man, up and running, up and running! And the best thing is, I get to show people how to use people effectively. Trust them, give them autonomy. We have 6 precepts, and guess what? The number 1 is service and commitment to people. Stock options, high pay. Look, I'm not a goody-goody. I'm not a goody-goody. I know the bottom line is about profit and loss. I know that that's where it counts. You know, you might say I'm using reward systems to develop intrinsic motivation in order to enhance performance a la hack.
So how did things go? Well, they went very well at first. People's Express's revenues approached $200 million. They had the best efficiency metrics against their assets in the industry. And besides Southwest, they had the best return on revenue. But what about employee motivation?
Before People's Express, I was a special ed teacher making only $12,000 a year, receiving little or no recognition, getting tired. But then I started at $17,000, received $600 in profit sharing, and will soon own about 800 shares of stock worth $12 each. I'm doing multiple tasks. I have autonomy. I never thought I'd be having this much fun.
Soon, however, all was not well in People's Express land. In November of 1982, the 800 permanent managers were supplemented with 400 part-time workers. They received little training, they didn't work on teams, own stock, or receive bonuses. The policy of job rotation, critical for employee motivation, was never fully implemented. And performance appraisals were not completed. Employees felt inadequately recognized, guided, and involved.
Look, I know there's some problems.
Don, people are getting frustrated. And you won't hear about it because employees feel it's useless to mention it. The management doesn't seem to listen and doesn't support them. Sure, they have stock, but I don't think it's going to matter in the long run.
Look, don't sweat it, don't sweat it. We're 50% of the way there. We've got some things to do, but, you know, we'll get there because I'm all about people, baby. Now go build me an airline!
Employees continued to be frustrated for work. Cross-utilization was not well received. Management was viewed as less supportive and less consultative. And the total compensation was viewed less favorably. Still, despite their founding initiatives, People's Express continued its incredible growth rate.
Don, this job is killing me. I have no outside life. I'm socially retarded. My wife left me, my kids hate me, and if my dog dies, I'll have a hit country western song. My blurry vision, this rash is going to be getting, and I think I'm getting an ulcer.
Some say we should slow down. That should we just cool it? But they don't understand what hard work can do. They don't understand how healthy hard work is for you. They don't understand you're sick, you're tired, you work harder, you're better. Of course, I could be the rationalizing animal. and really dealing with cognitive dissonance over my disconnect between my belief that hard work is healthy and this poor, broken man on the floor. Nah, I don't think so. I got a great video of a motivated People's Express employee for you. So take a look.
That pretty much sums up People's Express. Well, what happened next? Well, Don Burr continued his manifest destiny, moving west and purchasing Frontier Airlines. Unfortunately, the two companies operated very differently, and their cultures ended up clashing. Competitors began to be able to match the low prices that People's Express offered their customers. And in the end, in 1987, Texas Airlines purchased People's Express and incorporated them with their Continental operating group. To learn more about what caused People's Express to go wrong, we decided to consult the management experts at that other business school.
He's a professor emeritus at Harvard Business School. Comes highly recommended by Professor Richard Hackman. Please put your hands together for Professor Michael B.
You should really read my book.
Yeah, I will. I haven't had a chance to work on this fat thing. You can come in and share some of your insights on People Express with us.
Well, People Express, as I outline in this book, is an example of a high-commitment, high-performance organization. These organizations have three things in common: performance alignment, psychological alignment, and a capacity for learning and change. In fact, their HR policy was quite visionary, and it was aligned with their business strategy.
It all sounds great. Why did the company fail?
Well, it's in chapter 3.
Like I said, I haven't had a chance. Perhaps you could share with us your insights on why People Express failed.
Failure resulted from excessive growth. These high-commitment, high-performance companies, they take a long time to evolve, and they can easily fail with a few bad decisions. They're conservative by nature, and they have to very carefully manage their financial and cultural risk. By this I mean they need to manage their growth, and they need to minimize their debt.
So their problem was really excessive growth?
People Express underwent incredible organisational stress. This undermined their performance alignment, this undermined, in turn undermined their employee morale, and caused a downturn in customer service.
So are there examples where this high commitment, high performance model does work?
Well, again, as I mentioned in my book, Southwest Airlines is an example of a company that had very similar HR policies, but they managed their growth very carefully and very explicitly by restricting expansion to less than 2 cities per year and having no long-term debt at all. In contrast, People Express was out of control.
I think we actually might have a video. So, can you share some of your insights on the HR tactics of People Express, like cross-utilization?
Well, again, I explore this issue in my textbook. I've actually got a study guide that goes along with it. But cross-utilization is a great tactic, but eventually it gets harder and harder to do. You've got to use it very judiciously, and you can't use it across all levels of the organisation. You have to focus on leaders and people with growth potential.
Then how do you manage growth while maintaining performance alignment?
Well, you need enough leaders that are aligned and capable of managing existing growth, and ask yourself, can I take this person out of their current position and put them elsewhere, and then backfill that position appropriately?
Interesting. Well, I think that's all the time we have. But
Can you have a copy of my book?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.